Youth Speech Contest. And special welcome to all the judges, head teller, timer, and all the student speakers, and my fellow Rotarians. Your presence has added a great deal of prestige and excitement to our speech contest today. The District 5170's Richard T. King Youth Speech Contest happens each year, and three goals in mind. It aims to improve public speaking skills for students before a live audience, raise Rotary awareness among youth in our community, and increase high school students' participation in the contest and an opportunity to win prizes. We will introduce all the judges, student speakers, head teller, and timer only after the competition is completed. We will announce the judges' names and bios after the score sheets go to the head teller for scores keeping. Some rules. We have 9 speakers today. Students will speak in order of the letters they drew, A, B, C, D to I. All speeches must incorporate the theme, service above self this year. And all 4 principles of the Rotary 4-way test must be included in the speech. Speeches are 4 to 5 minutes in length. Official time will be kept by the timer, Grace Nash here, who will give warnings by displaying cards at 4 minutes, which is green, 4.5 yellow, and 5 minutes red, minute intervals. Timing begins with the first utterance from the speaker. So there is no need for introductions beforehand. We will do the introductions later. The judges will need about a minute or so between speakers, and we will wait for the judges to raise their pencils and have their scores entered before we call on the next speaker. Please turn off your cell phones. No flash photos are allowed during competition. Please be respectful and quiet during the speeches. And please do not applaud after every speaker. We'll do that later. Thank you all for being here, and best of luck to all the speakers. This is your chance to shine and make a lasting impression. So we will start the contest, and I would like to call speaker number A.
I want to start by painting a picture for everybody. Let's just imagine a world where every single action that is committed is only driven and motivated by self-interest. Teachers will never stay after school to help a struggling student. The student could harness a mind of extraordinary potential, but we could never see that prosper. A doctor refuses care to patients because the patient can't afford it. And the most good-natured people in this world are lost forever. You could be walking to a grocery store and see an elderly woman struggling with grocery bags in her hands, and you wouldn't even offer to help. You could just be walking on the streets in your neighborhood, and not one friendly smile would be exchanged. Even in your own home, relationships would be, what can I get out of this person? And what can this person do for me? Instead of, I care about this person and I want to spend more time with them. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in service of others by Mahatma Gandhi. Now, this dystopia that I just described does not exist in this world today. We have had our own fair share of monumental figures and role models that have dedicated their lives to helping those in need. Some notable examples are Mahatma Gandhi, Harriet Tubman, and Mother Teresa. There's also some lesser known, yet still just as influential people, such as Oscar Schwindler, Albert Schweitzer, and Dorothy Day. These people collectively helped pave the path for us on this green and blue globe that we call Earth. If I go out in public, people are always holding the door out for me, smiling as I walk in, and if I ever need assistance, someone's always there to happily guide me. You know, these just seem like small instances in a life that you forget about the next minute. But these really do touch one's heart in the moment, and that person can remember it for years on end. Now, not everything is perfect, and our world does display some selfish tendencies like the ones I described earlier. For example, the rich have amassed fortunes over years and years of hard work, but they won't put aside a small portion of it to help people in need. Or take large corporations, for example. They decide to prioritize the profits for the higher level managers, like vice presidents and directors, and don't guarantee good employees, the working conditions for employees that are the backbone of the company. You and me, in public, we can turn a blind eye to someone suffering just because we think this doesn't concern us. Why should we help? Though these tendencies don't define us as a society, they serve as a reminder of the blemishes that humanity shows. Now, all of these things come down to one thing: choices. Are you going to choose convenience over compassion? Or are you going to be the bigger man and put in a little bit of extra effort to make someone else's day? It's like a domino effect or a tree of positivity. Let's say I compliment two people today. It might not seem like much. It's just a compliment. Hey, I like your shirt. Hey, your hair looks good. It's just two small compliments, but those two people will feel the need to pay it forward. Those two people will tell two people. That becomes four, and then it becomes eight, becomes 16. And before you know it, you've committed to making a tree of positivity that you didn't even know was possible. And it ends up becoming more beautiful than you could have ever imagined. Now, it's really easy to let our society fall into a horrific dystopia where nobody cares about anyone but themselves. But it's also possible to bring our society to a closer, more perfect world. We just need to put in the effort. Us, me and you, as a society, by just smiling at someone else in the audience, you can make someone else's day and create a tree of positivity. Perfect may not be possible, but we can get really close. Thank you.
We will have a minute for the judges to do their scores. And please raise your pencils when you're done so that we can call on the next speaker.
Let's go. What's the first thing we're doing? What's the first thing in the break?
Let's talk about poker for a second.
Do we have a little bit of time or no time?
30 seconds. QR code's on.
Hey, everyone. You're gonna see on the screen while the judges are doing their thing. 1 second here and we'll get it up. There we go. Here we go. Poker event. You should have these cards on everybody's table. Hopefully you see them. I want to make sure that you're letting friends, family, people you know about our big poker event on May 2nd. We've got a big goal to raise $30,000 this year. It's going great. So if you want to join us, we're having every Tuesday night at Michael Hosterman's office. We're doing our planning committee, and you're welcome to join us there. So thank you.
Judges, you're done. That's it. Okay, thank you. Speaker number alphabet B.
Today, I would like to share with you all my personal take on service above self. I would like to do this by drawing on my own experiences as a volunteer. More specifically, performing dance at senior centers and nursing homes every month. To begin with, Aristotle once said, "What is the essence of life? To serve others and do good." These same words have stuck with the human population for centuries, but why? Is it the truth that service above self is really the of life? Volunteering for a cause you deeply believe in allows you to look within to find your true purpose, your true passion. For example, when I dance at senior centers, I'm able to enrich not only my own love for dance, but also my intention and purpose in service. This allows me to make people's days better with just 1 hour every weekend. And the impact that I see on people allows me to thus gain a sense of fulfillment. Yes, it is the truth that the essence of life is service of oneself. Next, is it fair to all concerned? Volunteering is one of the few activities in the world where everyone can come together and everyone is equal. The only thing that matters is your effort, not your background, not your skills, not your talent. When I am dancing, I only have to put in my effort and my happiness and hard work, nothing else. That is part of why I enjoy volunteering so much. I and so many others are able to feel that we are part of one complete whole, and we are the same as anyone else giving their own time and efforts to the cause. Yes, volunteering is certainly fair to everyone concerned by providing a safe space for people of different walks of life to come together. Next, will it build friendship and goodwill? Volunteering is rooted in community and connection. For example, after my performances, I enjoy talking to the citizens of the centers. This allows me to talk to them, understand them better, and really know more about their incredible lives. It also helps me connect with them over our shared interests. This allows me to see them not as an invisible entity or someone separate from me, but my own community. In addition, volunteering also strengthens friendship through shared goals. With my fellow performers and our shared goal of expanding our performances, we bond and we work hard, we laugh and we cry, but we are all together as volunteers. Yes, volunteering builds goodwill and friendships through community and connection. Last, is it beneficial to all involved? Volunteering is putting others above your own needs, yes, but it is so much more than that at the same time. It is the slow development of an understanding that the voluntary experience you are having right now will serve to be more beneficial to your personal growth than studying for a test or writing a speech for a speech competition. It is the understanding that whenever I perform at senior centers, I am able to mentally benefit by seeing, once again, the impact I create on people's days by making them just a little bit better and a little bit brighter. Through volunteering, people achieve a sense of contentment, purpose, happiness, and pride. And this makes someone's day better. Through volunteers have said that over 96% have felt that their sense of purpose was enriched. So today, I'd like to leave you with this. We still do service above self in a world that is primarily driven by money because it helps us gain personal growth and achievement. Volunteers today are the leaders of the world tomorrow. Thank you.
Good job.
Problems like that. We can shift the status quo because we see opportunities where others see obstacles. We're change makers. We're problem solvers. Uniting over 1 million minds to address complex issues facing communities around the world, including yours. With passion and purpose, We've led the efforts to put an end to polio. Now eradication isn't just possible. It's plausible. Every day we're investing in a new generation of leaders so we can continue to provide access to clean water, tackle global health concerns,
Probably two of us.
support education, and build the foundations of peace across borders. We're working together as partners and professionals while making friendships that last a lifetime. We're Rotary, and there's no limit to what we can do.
Do we have the scores, judges? Thank you. Okay, we have speaker C.
On the coast of Greece, a young boy is throwing turtles into the ocean. Now, before I continue with this story, I'd like to explain something. See, turtles are vulnerable. They are vulnerable to the sun, and if they're stranded on the shore, they won't survive. There are thousands of turtles littered among the shore. So how will this little boy save them all? This old man questions him. He says, "How are you going to save all of these turtles? There's so many littered on the shore." So he says, "It's not about saving all of them. It's about the small act of kindness for one turtle that can make a huge difference to it." So I was given the motto, service over self. This is a very simple and empowering motto by the Rotary Club. And my take on this is that it means putting others before yourself. It means taking your own initiative and going outside of your comfort zones to better other people's lives. Making a difference to others is important for several reasons, which I will cover. But it's not necessarily it's not necessarily excluding just people. You can put ideas, beliefs, and causes behind in front of what you believe in. So who really contributes to these? We know that there are several leaders that contributed, but who else? Well, they're volunteers, they're teachers, first responders, and even parents, right? They all contribute, but what do they all have in common? Well, they all serve really to their own community, to someone special, to someone near them. They all have a positive effect on the community. They all give time and energy, don't expect a reward. I mean, do you guys pay your parents to take care of them? I assume not, right? But they all also have a mindset of generosity and kindness. This is what really enables them to selflessly act without like a reason to act, right? They all want to act on their own accord. It's all these small acts that really define who we are. Maybe smiling at someone, helping a neighbor, maybe mow their lawn, mentoring someone that isn't as academically good as you or academically smart as you. It's all these small acts that can cause a ripple effect that can cause a ripple effect throughout the entire world. Remember, kindness is a boomerang. You throw it, it'll come back at you. So this also leads on to my third point, the ripple effect. The ripple effect is essentially just if you help someone, if you show kindness to someone, it's eventually going to come back to you. It's going to affect many others beyond that one person that you helped. Remember that little turtle at the beginning of the story where I told you the boy threw the turtle in the ocean. Well, he too gained a sense of fulfillment that the old man could not even compare to. It shows that even though you're spending your own valuable time and energy to help others, those vulnerable, those unindependent of themselves, but those reliant on you, if you help them, they too can gain a sense of independence, and you too gain a sense of fulfillment. You gain, even science studies back this. Many scientific studies have proven that by showing kindness to others, you decreases your chance of chronic depression and anxiety. But not only that, it deepens your connection with others. It induces happiness and growth. So I challenge you all today. What is one way you can help out at home? I mean, it all starts at home, right? Before we go on to save the world, we have to start at home, maybe doing the dishes, maybe helping with the laundry, fixing the TV, helping spring cleaning. But it all starts at home, remember. If you really want to make a difference, first start at home, then go save the world, right? Because to save the world, you do need to save your home first. So at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you're not really remembered for what college did you go to, what achievements, what awards did you win. You're more remembered for your contributions to society. And for these reasons, I think the service over self motto, it's not about how big the act is or how small the act is. I think it means that no matter how small the act, it can always come back at you with a kindness boomerang. For all the yeah, thank you.
Diaper time. Hey, I want to take a second. Richard is not here. I told him I'd do a week here. He had a sore tooth. He said he wasn't a baby, but I think he is. Anyway, he's not here. If you brought diapers for the donation, I will take them. Thanks to James, gave me $50 today. So I'm up to $285 to go buy diapers. Next week is our social, so we won't be collecting. And then the following week is the last opportunity. So if you don't want to go shop and you do want to donate diapers, just throw me some money and I will take care of it. Thank you.
Speaker, ready and get ready.
What if a small act could change someone's life? For as long as I can remember, I've spent my Diwalis baking traditional Indian sweets for my neighbors. The process of making these sweets is quite simple. Roll the dough, fry them, and dip them in syrup. But to me, it means so much more than food. It's a chance for me to set aside my time for those around me and to share something that I've made with love. So through this tradition, I've learned something important. That service above self isn't always about the grand gestures. Sometimes the smallest things can matter. Because with every door I see open, my neighbors' faces illuminate with joy, not just because of the delicious sweets, but also because of the chance to feel included and celebrated in something they've never experienced before. So today, I would like to put this service through the Rotary four-way test. Number one, is it the truth? Yes. When my mom and I are packaging these sweets for our neighbors, it comes from a place of love and sincerity, not for the need of recognition. And that is the truth in service. It's not about the gesture you make itself, but rather your intent, authenticity, and truthfulness behind it. So yes, the answer is that service above self is the truth. Number two, is it fair to all concerned? Once again, the answer is yes. When I'm packaging these sweets, I'm not picking and choosing who gets what, but instead making sure that everyone gets an equal opportunity to get a taste of my culture, regardless of whether they've been living near me for years or have just moved in, because that is the essence of fairness in service. It's about making sure everyone feels welcomed and celebrated without any bias to their background or their experiences. Number three, will it build better friendships and goodwill? Absolutely. With every new door I knock on, I learn something new about my neighbors. Whether it's a simple fact about their day or a funny joke they've recently learned, I learned something new. Because this simple act, this simple exchange of food can foster kindness in my community. As each Diwali passes, my neighborhood feels more strengthened and bonded because this small act, this small offering of your time can create a long-lasting impact. Finally, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Yes. While my neighbors benefit from the chance to feel included, celebrated, and welcomed, and let's face it, the delicious sweets, my family and I also feel benefited. We benefit from sharing something we love, which is a gift itself. While the benefits might not be the same for the receiver and the giver, they are equally as important because service above self means positivity. It means putting a smile on people's faces and making sure they feel happier after your service. Over the years, this tradition has blossomed in my community, with my own neighbors sharing their recipes of baklava and traditional sweets, and sending us invites to celebrations to Halloween and Christmas. What started off on a small scale has become something so much bigger, because even the smallest of things can make the biggest impacts. What I've learned through this is that no matter how small you think you are acting, it can create a ripple. It can create an effect bigger than you've imagined. So today, I would like everyone to think about how they can practice the essence of service above self in their own lives. Turn to your neighbors. What is something you could do to put a smile on their faces? Whether it's waving to a neighbor, whether it's laughing at a joke, or whether it's giving a hug to a friend who needs it the most, it matters. Because the smallest of things can have the most profound effects, even if it's as simple as sharing a bite of your Diwali sweet. Thank you.
Hello, Rotarians and guests. Today we're going to sing One Heart, One Club. Let's go to it. One heart, let's get together to have fun. We do the cheers and the spirit. Let's get together to have fun. Rotary just thanks and when the work is done. Let's get together to have fun. One heart, one club, one club. Let's get together to have fun. Easter service, a new day's come. Let's get together to have fun. Mother, daughter, father, son. Let's get together to have fun.
I think.
One club, one club. Let's get together to have fun. One heart, one heart. Let's get together to go have fun.
Yeah, that was a nice song. So all the judges are done. So we are ready for speaker E.
What if the greatest impact we make in life isn't in what we achieve, but in how we serve others? What if true success isn't measured in wealth or titles, but in the lives we touch? There are moments in life that test what we are willing to do for others. Not because we have to, but because we care. Service isn't just an act, it's a mindset a way of life. It's choosing to help even when no one is watching, even when it is difficult, even when it requires sacrifice. I've seen this in my own life in small but meaningful ways. Every time I visit India, I help care for my grandfather who suffers from seizures and can no longer walk. The house is warm, filled with the smell of spices from my grandmother's cooking, but my focus is on him. His hands are thin, his body weak, yet his eyes light up when he sees me. I place my arm under his and lift, steadying him as he shifts his weight onto me. His grip is tight, his breathing uneven, but he trusts me to guide him. I help him eat, move around, and make sure my grandmother, who works tirelessly, gets a moment to rest. I've also seen it through my other grandfather who suffered from Alzheimer's. As the disease took hold, he forgot the stories we once laughed over, the songs he used to hum, the evening walks we took together. He would look at me with confusion, sometimes mistaking me for someone else. Yet I held his hand and spoke to him anyway, because love isn't about being remembered, it's about being there. Service above self isn't just a phrase we say, it's a way we choose to live. I've seen this firsthand, not just in grand gestures, but in the everyday sacrifices of those around me. It's my mother waking up before the sun rises, preparing meals, running a daycare, teaching dance, volunteering, and still making the time to sit with me late at night when I need her. She doesn't do it because it's expected of her. She does it because it is who she is. But no matter what form service takes, it always shares the same core, giving without expecting anything in return. Mahatma Gandhi once said, "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others." When we dedicate ourselves to serving others, we grow in ways we never expected. We become stronger, more compassionate, more connected to the world around us. Each act of kindness creates a ripple effect. It inspires others to do the same. It strengthens bonds. It transforms communities. And most importantly, it reminds us that true fulfillment does not come from what we take. It comes from what we give. At the end of the day, we won't be remembered for what we owned, but for what we gave. Not for the titles we held, but for the lives we touched. The world is filled with opportunities to serve, but it is up to us to take them. We don't need wealth, power, influence, only the willingness to care. So I challenge you, look for one way to serve today. Hold the door open, offer a kind word, lend a hand, because sometimes the smallest acts of kindness are the ones that mean the most. Let's not just talk about service above self. Let's live it. Thank you.
Steve McCoy Thompson. You have a presentation. Surprise.
Thank you. So I just got back last night from Cuba. We have a friend of ours who works in the embassy there. We were able to stay, and it was a really wonderful experience. Beautiful country, very poor, has endured a lot of challenges. And I just wanted to bring back a little gift for you. It's kind of contraband, but I figured you're worth it. It's a cigar. Yeah. So just enjoy, and I'll make a $100 donation to the wheelchair foundation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve.
Can we have speaker F ready?
Judges? We all have to think that we're good people. That if the moment called for it, we'd step up. That when it really matters, we wouldn't just watch, we'd act. Now, I'm not trying to be cynical, but most of the time we don't. And it's not because we're cruel. No, it's not because we don't care. It's just because we're busy. We're swamped up in our own schedules. We're caught up in our own life. And it's hard to forget that what the true meaning of service above self is. And honestly, it's easy to assume that someone else will take responsibility. And that's how it starts. First, not my business, then not my problem, and then not my responsibility. But it is our responsibility. And the moment we start deciding what is and isn't worth our attention, we draw a line between us and them, between the fortunate and the forgotten, between the people we sympathize with and the ones we pretend not to see. And the real danger is that the more we do it, the more we ignore, the easier it gets. We say that we'd step up when it matters, but then we pretend not to see the kid eating lunch alone. And if we don't do that, then how will we ever recognize injustice when it matters? And if we don't stop to listen when a friend is struggling, then how will we ever find the courage, the voice to speak up when silence is easier? Service, it's not a requirement, but it's rather a responsibility. Volunteer hours have often just become a box to check. 20, 30, 50 hours all filed away for graduation. And while some do it with heart, I'm not denying that, many just go through the motions. And it's easy just to view volunteering as an obligation rather than an opportunity. But what if it's neither? What if service is something else entirely? I knew a kid who volunteered at a food pantry, and it wasn't because he wanted to, his mom made him. And he really just showed up, did the work, and left. There was no grand emotional revelation. And one day, he noticed a little kid staring at him, just staring at him like how little kids do. And the kid's mom was out getting groceries, and suddenly it clicked. This wasn't just a food drive for them. It was their dinner. And more importantly, it was survival. It was food. Afterwards, he didn't really talk about it, didn't post about it, just showed up again next week, and the week after, and every week after that. Not because he wanted to, not because it was fun. I mean, his arms were pretty sore from lifting all those crates, but because it wasn't about him. So what's the real message here? What's the point? The point is, he didn't have to become a saint. He didn't have to achieve sainthood. All it took was showing up for a short amount of time to help at least one person, one family, and that's service. So what can we do? Like I said, you don't have to donate millions of dollars to charity. You don't have to change the world overnight. But you do have to notice, you do have to care, and most importantly, you do have to act. And start small. Like I said, just noticing the kid eating lunch alone, by asking twice when a friend says they're okay, even though they're clearly not. By speaking up when you notice something is wrong, even if your voice wavers. And when noticing isn't enough, then we must step in. Because real change doesn't happen when you volunteer once and feel good about yourself. It happens when you show up again and again when it's hard. And to take it a step further, we must commit. How do we commit? Like I said, what will you do if no one is watching? If no one was rewarding you for it? Will you still step up? What am I saying? I'm asking for us to break this habit of indifference that has become all too common in our generation. I'm asking us to shift our perspective, to change the way we move through the world, and to ask ourselves just once, when indifference would be easier, when there's comfort in silence, what if I stepped up instead? Thank you.
Hey, everyone, if you'll look on your table, you should see one of these flyers in the middle of your table. We, as a club, are members of the Pleasanton Chamber of Commerce. And the second Wednesday of every month, the next Chamber Mixer, we are co-hosting with Sensiba at John Sensiba's office here in Pleasanton. So I want, of course, as many of us as possible to come to that. We're going to be promoting there and have, I believe we're going to have a poker table so we can a poker event, get more poker players. But basically, this is the point of what we're doing this for is to get our club's presence out there and hopefully recruit some new members to our club. So as many of you who can come, it's free. They usually have some heavy hors d'oeuvres, really nice food. We're going to have that. And you get 2 drinks for free. So it's free for all of us as members. Please put that on your calendar. Please make it a priority to come if you can. It is, again, it's April the 9th, the second Wednesday in April. Thank you very much.
And we have speaker G. Ready?
I was in elementary school, I used to love watching the Avengers movies. And whether it was Age of Ultron or Infinity War, I would always watch for one reason. I wanted to see Iron Man. Using his genius level thinking skills to build a super suit and save anyone from danger, Iron Man was my idol. And I wanted to be like him too, saving anyone that needed it from danger. But being like Tony Stark was outside of mine or anyone else in this world's reach. You see, in my mind, if you didn't have the same fictional materials and super suit that he did, you couldn't save anyone like he did either. But as COVID hit and I found myself increasingly relying on technologies like Zoom to call with my friends and YouTube to catch up with school, I was becoming more and more dependent, educationally and socially, on these technologies. And while they may not have been as flashy as Tony Stark, whoever made these technologies was helping me and so many others like me get through these tough times. And I realized something. We don't need to be like Tony Stark. We can use any of the technology around us to help those around us. And not just that, we can use any of the tools that we have available to help others. And while this may seem broad, it relies on 2 main ideals, a vision and an ingenuity. You see, the first thing that everyone has is the ability to put themselves in the shoes of others and see the world through their lens. Once we do that, we can identify a problem that they're facing and make a vision to fix that. And this vision can be something as small as helping one person with some work to something as large as joining an organization to help the masses. And once acted upon, that vision is what will help so many around us. The next part, ingenuity, is the ability to act on this vision that we have using the skills and technologies that we have around us. And this vision can be something as huge as creating a technological solution to a problem that millions face, or something as small as using our abilities to create a meal plan for those that need it. You see, everyone has these 2 abilities of a vision and an ingenuity. It's only a matter of applying them. And once we apply these vision and these ingenuities to our real life solutions, that is when we get our real life Iron Man. Now, one person that exemplifies this and shows us the extent to which this can happen is Salman Khan. Now, he saw a problem that many people across the world, both those who he knew and those who he had and will never meet, faced. There was a lack of education access across the world, and those that did have an access to a proper education often struggled due to the way that the system was structured. He found a problem in the education system and he decided to fix it. Using his technological skills from his previous job as a hedge fund manager and his vision to create a site where anyone could learn, he created the Khan Academy, a place where anyone could access his thousands of online videos and learn practically any subject, all for free. So many people benefited due to his goodwill, and you see, he benefited too. He became famous, and those that he helped emailed him, showing them his things. And so everyone benefited. Sal Khan helped the millions of people across the globe, and he didn't need any super suit to do that. Now, one may think that we don't have the ability to do anything like Khan did. I mean, I'm just a random high school student, and you may be busy with whatever your job entails as a policeman, firefighter, or engineer, or whatever your walk of life is. But you see, it doesn't take a lot. Whether it's organizing community cleanups or making videos to educate students, we all start somewhere with the abilities that we have. And any of us, as long as we have a vision, can help others with this as well. Now, you don't have to do anything extra as well. Even doing your own job helps so many people. I can't even begin to express how thankful I am to my doctor for helping me get rid of my asthma when I was younger, and now that I'm healthier, for reassuring me when I'm worried about my health. Firefighters and other first responders save so many lives on the job every day, as we've seen through the swift reactions to the recent LA fires. Now, these people were able to do this by having a vision when they were growing up, and their ability to fix to fix the problem that led to their vision was getting this job. Now, with our newfound technologies across the world and any of the tools around us, we can all use what we know to act on our vision and help anyone that needs it. And as renowned educator Booker T. Washington once said, those who are the happiest are those who do the most for others. So start by putting yourself in the shoes of others and seeing the problems that they face. Then use those problems to create a vision to help them. And then use your ingenuity to act on that vision. From empathy to a vision to using what we know, what we can do for the better. Service for others above your own needs. Thank you.
Sherry, I'd like to ask you to do We Care, since you started already.
Just two more speakers. I hope you are all enjoying listening to their unique perspectives and ideas. So I'll call upon speaker H.
Sanu, a farmer works hard to make those rice grains. Pick it up right now. These were the exact words spoken to me by my father when I was just 9 years old. I was refilling our rice container, which is of course a necessity in an Indian household. As I used a metal glass to dig into the big bag of basmati rice, I spilled a couple of grains on the floor, and they blended perfectly with the white tile below. I didn't pay it much mind. I mean, it was only a couple of grains. What could be the harm? My father's words came almost immediately as these thoughts entered my mind. Even now as a high schooler, I am seeing the insane amount of food waste every single day. In fact, just the other day, there was a food fight in which slices of apples and carrots were thrown into the air like confetti. Now, to address the first point, is this the truth? Is it true that there are millions of Americans that don't know when their next meal will be? Well, to address this, I would like to use a statistic. There are currently 47.4 million Americans who are in food insecure households. That is about 13.5% of America. Even at a young age, I knew something had to change. Now, is it fair to all concerned? Well, is it fair that some people are born in a privileged society and some aren't? Let me use an example to better explain this. Let's say that there are two individuals, Jackie and Joe. Jackie lives in an upper middle class. And when Thanksgiving rolls around, she looks forward to her turkey, mashed potatoes, and gravy. On the other hand is Jill, who was born into a low-income household. When Thanksgiving rolls around, Jill knows that she will not be able to purchase her own turkey and instead looks to resources such as Feeding America. As an empathetic child, I felt for people like Jill. I put myself in her shoes. Now, I don't really celebrate Thanksgiving, but any holiday without my favorite food seemed wrong. In the summer of 2019, me, my sister, and a couple of our friends hosted a bake sale and lemonade stand. We had freshly baked cookies, cupcakes, and of course, freshly squeezed lemonade. This was my first act of service ever. At the bake sale, we had a huge success. We were able to come up with $1,500. This was due to the matching from multiple corporations and the generous donations from the community. It was about an hour into our bake sale when a UPS driver pulled up. Now, I just want to emphasize that as a kid, I wasn't the most social. I didn't like the idea of talking to strangers, much less calling to them from the opposite side of the street, begging for them to taste our tasty lemonade. However, decided to put my anxieties aside for the sake of service. Now, when the UPS driver pulled up, she immediately asked, "Hey, I haven't eaten in so long. I'm so excited. Is it possible to get a pink frosted cupcake? How much does it cost?" $2, we replied. She took a deep sigh and patted her pockets. "I don't have any cash on me. I'm sorry." We replied. Immediately upon hearing this, I stood up and handed her a pink frosted cupcake. I didn't tell anybody, but as she drove away, I saw the biggest smile spread across her face. So even though I wasn't looking to gain anything from that experience, I was just wanting to make a difference. I did learn a valuable lesson about today's theme, service above self. What I learned is that service above self does not just involve helping those less fortunate than you, but it also means giving back to your own community and prioritizing the workers who work tirelessly every single day. Now, as a high schooler, I am involved in multiple clubs, such as Kids Against Hunger, in which we package food and deliver them to underprivileged communities. I look to organizations such as Rotary and am filled with hope that there are people that practice service above self every single day. To conclude, I would like to say that service above self is something that we should all embrace, and as it drives action and inspires others. Thank you.
John Patton. Words of inspiration. This is a tough act to follow. As many of you know, next Monday is St. Patrick's Day. And I thought because I love Ireland and have been there many times, I thought I'd talk a little bit about St. Patrick, who's an inspiration to me. He is known as the Apostle of Ireland. He's the primary saint of Ireland, along with a couple others, Bridget of Kildare and Saint Columba. He's actually never been canonized by the Catholic Church because the canonization procedures did not come until long after he had passed away. Still, he's revered as a saint by the Catholic Church, the Church of Ireland, and many other European churches. He was born at the end of the Roman rule in Britain and is believed to have been active as a missionary since the late 5th century. He was the first bishop of Armagh and credited with bringing Christianity to Ireland and converting a pagan society in the process. He called himself Patricius, and he had an interesting life. He was born into a Roman British family, believed to have been raised near the town of Carlisle in northwestern England. When he was young, he was not particularly religious, although his family was quite religious. But he had events happen to him that changed his life. According to his own writings, when he was about 16 years old, he was captured by Irish pirates and taken to live as a slave in Ireland. He lived there and spent 6 years there as an animal herder. During that time, he believed that the Lord had shown him mercy for his youth and ignorance, and he used that opportunity to atone for his sins and grow in faith through prayer. About 6 years into his captivity, he escaped and went across Ireland and found a ship in what is believed to be Wicklow and went back to England. He then studied in France. He studied religion And he became determined to never forget his experience in Ireland. That he claimed to have had a vision where he saw a man coming back to him from Ireland, and the man carried many letters, and he gave one of these letters to Patrick. On the heading of were the words, "The voice of the Irish." And Patrick, when he got this letter and saw this heading, he had another vision, and that was of the people of Ireland crying out to him, "We appeal to you, holy servant boy, to come and walk among us." And he never forgot this vision. I could tell you a lot more about him, but I think because of the time, I won't. There's just been many legends about Patrick, and of course, he's revered in the country of Ireland. He's revered by all of us with any Irish heritage, and I hope you all have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day on Monday.
All the judges are ready. Okay. So we have the last speaker of our day, alphabet I.
I need 20 senior service hours to graduate high school. And when I was a freshman, I did not understand why or what the point was. But when I started to volunteer that summer at a summer camp, I finally started to realize how nice it felt. It felt so nice to walk into the summer camp, light up the kids' eyes with my excitement, and I really just improved their experience with just a little time and effort on my part. And that's when I realized the importance of service over self. We can also take a look at this through many people in history. Service over self has been followed through many years. So today, let's take a look at two people in history that have inspired, that we can use to inspire ourselves to follow this theme. First, let's take a look at Martin Luther King Jr. He had a big impact through his ability to use service over self in his life. A famous quote by him is, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?" He embodied this theme by dedicating his life to the civil rights movement and ending racial discrimination. His "I Have a Dream" speech and his contributions will go down in history. And he did this by implementing service over self. Despite the risk to his safety, he continued to fight for what he believed was true, and he received death threats and bomb threats in retaliation. But because of his nonviolence beliefs, he didn't retaliate, and he continued to fight for what he believed in. His courage and determination inspired others to also implement service over self by organizing the Birmingham riots and the Freedom Rides. So without his contributions and his ability to inspire others and put service above his own safety and his own self, he was able to make one of the biggest contributions and fight against battle for discrimination. Next, let's take a look at Malala Yousafzai. Malala was a girl who just wanted to go to school, but under the Taliban, she was denied that right. They weren't allowed to go out and do whatever they wanted and achieve their dreams. They were supposed to stay at home, and Malala disagreed. And instead of keeping quiet, she decided to speak out about it despite the danger. This shows how she was putting the service to other girls and herself above her own safety, because in retaliation, the Taliban shot her in the head at just 15 years old. Despite that, she grew and healed, and she continued to fight for what she believed in. she was able to create the Malala Fund, which helps provide education to girls around the world. And she continued to fight for that, showing how she put her service to girls in need over her safety. She was also became the youngest person to achieve the Nobel Peace Prize, and we can see how influential she is and how she embodies the theme of service over self. Now, I encourage you to think about what you can do to implement this in your lives through these two people, because while you might not be the next Martin Luther King Jr. or Malala Yousafzai, you can go through small gestures like holding open the door, complimenting someone, joining volunteering, donating to a cause. And this creates a ripple of positivity. And I feel proud that I decided to go above those 20 hours and have now done 10 times that. And I've done this through like volunteering at summer camps, which is one of the most enjoyable ways, because service over self doesn't have to be sad. You can have fun with it. So I've joined the Red Cross, I've joined multiple clubs to spread this. So I encourage you to once again think about Martin Luther's quote, "What are you doing for others?" Thank you.
Go ahead and clap. Amazing job by all, including John Pat. So you're gonna do the introductions of after everything's done, but while they're compiling, tabulating yes, so what I'd like to do at that time is do visiting Rotarians, introductions. Any visiting Rotarians?
Mark? You win, buddy.
So I'm sure how you can be a visiting Rotarian and be a greeter.
Wonder if that was trend.
Yeah, but let's welcome from the Rotary Club of
Dublin,
in the category of
electrical contracting.
Bob Tucker.
Bob Tucker.
Hello, Rotarian. Dick Carr started out in the Standing Andrew Rotary Club. And he was right across the street in business from mine. So I got to know Dick long before you met him when he got out here. And he's a great guy. I'm sorry for that news.
Any other visiting Rotarians that are not involved in the contest? No other visiting Rotarian? How about guests of Rotarians?
Yes, I brought my guest today, my son Evan Schweigerly.
Any other guests?
Definitely would.
Indeed, indeed.
I'd like to introduce Christina Nystrom. She's a graduate of Amador Valley High School. And currently a consultant and community advocate. She's also on the CTE advisory board along with me at the Pleasanton Unified School District. Please welcome Christina.
Christina told me that 30 years ago, she won the speech contest in this club.
Wow.
Any other visiting Rotarians? I mean, excuse me,
Guests of
guests of Rotarians. Right. So we're waiting for the tabulation. How about another Rotary video?
Another Rotary video?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Our connections make powerful things happen.
Play or no play?
Uniting individuals and communities. We are Rotary. We are people of action. And together, we turn great ideas into reality by accessing our networks, our experience, and the best of ourselves to make a difference. Around the world, Rotary brings leaders together to build new friendships and to solve problems. Like in Austria, where generations work side by side to come up with innovative ways to build sustainable housing and community centers. Everyone learning from each other. In India, volunteers run a mobile blood bank to help provide a steady blood supply for the local community. And in Taiwan, people are working hard to get vulnerable citizens the support and services they need. With over 1 million members, we know what people can do when they come together. In your backyard and around the world, there's power in our connections. Take action with us. Find out more at Rotary.org.
Yeah.
While we are telling the scores, I will just take the time to show my gratitude for all of you to be here. So on behalf of the Youth Committee, I want to express our gratitude for your contribution to the success of this year's Rotary Club Youth Speech Contest. Your willingness to take time out of your busy schedule was essential to the success of our contest. So thank you for taking on the challenging role of a judge, a timer, and a head teller, which he's still working on, and all the speakers. So I would like to introduce the speakers. They are all from Amador Valley High School, from grades 9th to 12th. I will read down their names. Just a second. So the students just stand up when I read their names. Abhishri Narayan, Vivan Sayal, Darshan Sharma, Rishon Santiago, Sanvi Kunkardi, Aditya Nalabotu, Advaita Mohanty, Anvita Lakotia, and Soumya Pandey. Thank you all. I would like to now just give a brief introduction about the judges we have today. So our mayor, Jack Walsh, our Pleasanton City Mayor, he just left. He had to leave by 1:30 sharp. So he's also a lifelong resident of our Tri-Valley area. He attended Ceylon Glen Elementary High School, and he has served on many boards and volunteers with several organizations in this area. Judge number 2 is Chetan Saya, my friend. He's a long-time Pleasanton and East Bay resident and founder and CEO of Zumifer Corporation, a software company that enhances sales team engagement through video-rich content. Before Zumifer, he founded 2 other tech startups, and as an entrepreneur, Chetan often engages with corporate decision-making makers and motivates his employees and partners. Thank you. We have judge number 3, Nancy Harrington, our very own Rotarian. Nancy Harrington. Nancy is a longtime member of the Rotary Club of Pleasanton. Nancy, along with her husband Gary, are the founders of the Harrington Art Partnership, established to support and advance public art in Pleasanton, including monthly public art walks. The Harringtons are major supporters of the Pleasanton Fire Art Centers and many of our Rotary volunteer events and organizations. Then we have judge number 4, my friend again, Anjali Gandhi. Anjali has been a Pleasanton resident for 20 plus years and is actively involved in the community. She works for Oracle and is a founder and president of East Bay Marathi Mandal, a non-profit organization which celebrates, promotes, and preserves the rich Indian heritage by actively engaging in our community. Thank you all for being here. Then for the timer, thank you, our Rotarian, Grace Nash, did a wonderful job. All the speakers were under time limit, so that was nice. Then we have head teller, Rotarian Bill Evans, still working on this course. And Steve. Yes. So I would like to say that if any of you have any feedback to help us improve for next year's contest, please do not hesitate to share your suggestions with us. We welcome and appreciate any constructive criticism. So thank you for taking the time to be here today. And I just would like to say to the students that it was an absolute pleasure to see you all shine on stage. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors and keep up the great work. So whoever the winners are, like 1, 2, 3, but all the participants are winners here. So. Okay, so I will announce the winners. Third place is alphabet E. Come up here. So that's Darshan, right? Yeah, Darshan Sharma is third place. I'll give you your check and your certificate in a minute. Let me announce the others. On second place, we have alphabet D. D for Denmark. That's, I believe, is Soumya Pandey. And then for first place winner, who will be going for from our club to the area contest is alphabet F. That's okay. So the first place, the third place winner and gets a check.
While she's getting your checks and certificates, I want to congratulate everyone who spoke and you guys for performing so well also. And we're so happy and proud that you joined us today.
Please look this way and smile. Look like you're happy. Okay. All right. Great job. Awesome. I know. God. Yeah, I could see your vibe.
And Julia, we're so happy to have you back. You can have music right now. Do.
What is that? Yeah.
Skincare can start in the laundry room. That's why I always recommend all free clear for sensitive hair.
Yeah, sounds like YouTube or something.
Yeah, YouTube.
It's the St. Patty's song again. Where'd you get that music?
Yeah.
So intense.
Yeah. What grade they're in or?
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Good idea.
So give us your name, what year in school you are, and the fact that you went to Harvest Park too.
My name is Darshan Sharma. I'm a freshman at Amador Valley High School. And yeah, I did go to Harvest Park Middle School. It was fun, yeah.
My name is Somya Pandey. I'm a sophomore at Amador, and I also went to Harvest Park.
My name is Adwaita Mohanty, and I'm a sophomore at Amador Valley High School, and I went to Harvest Park like 90%.
Wow.
Well, congratulations on your two wonderful choices of schools. And in addition, do you guys know what the Greek translation of sophomore is? And you guys don't exhibit this. Does anybody know what the Greek translation? Wise fool. Did you know that? Does it fit? Sometimes. Okay, who was the same?
Who wants to tell a joke? Whoa, there would be a speaker.
We're almost there.
I can fill some dead space.
Okay.
So, fellow Rotarians, I was at Pets this last weekend, and Mark, our president-elect, was there and did an awesome job. Mark, so you're all ready to go, right, Mark? You're not like overwhelmed from all that information you got at Pets?
Not at all.
For those of you who don't know what Pets is, it's not about animals. It's about president-elect training. So all us future presidents get to go to that. It's an amazing experience. And our international president was there, Mario from Brazil. He actually had an episode of shingles, but he was still there. He has not gone home. His doctor said, go home and sleep, but he's traveling North America. So amazing guy. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Hannes, for that comment. Anyway, one of his big goals that he's asking every assistant governor, area governor, which, so those of you that don't know, I drank some more Kool-Aid, and Herb Ritter asked me to be area governor for him next year. So the international president wants each area governor with the clubs that they're responsible for to bring in a new club. Steve McCoy Thompson, we're going to talk. That's one of his big goals, because membership in North America is declining, and it's been going down for 20 years. Asia's going up, North America's going down. So we need to do something new and think outside the box. So they're not done yet. Okay, that's all I had. So anyway, yes. Oh, okay. So as you know, Kathy and I are going to try to do another job with the Spirit Run this year. So what day is the Spirit Run? Somebody said the 26th. Oh, okay. I don't have anything to give you, but good job. You answered the question right. Pardon me? Oh, give an acronym. Oh, there we go. He's got 5 already. I don't know where they are, but he hasn't filled them out. So I'm going to be reaching out to the committee chairs of last year, and when I call you or email you, you're going to say, yes, I'll do it again, right? Okay, I'm looking around. All right, good answer. And if not, we'll find somebody probably better than you. No, I'm kidding. We'll try to find someone to do the job. Anyway, so that's what's going on. Anything else, Kathy, that you'd like me to say? Yes.
Oh, the Spirit Run has gone on for 31 years, and we're going to do it again.
Yeah, so anyway, good. Are we ready? All right. Woo, good job.
We have first place, Anvita. And we have a check of $150 for you. Congratulations. Then we have second place, Soumya Pandey. And a check of $75. We have third place, Darshan Sharma, and a check of $35.
Certificates, please. Bill, or Jim, get in there. Yeah. On this side. Yeah. All right. And let's give everybody a round of applause.
I would like all the participants to come here. We have a check of $25 for all of you. Congratulations.
Jim, ring the bell.
Good job.